What would you do if your child was diagnosed with a life-threatening disease? You prayed for healing. But instead of getting better, she became worse? And then one night, she stopped breathing. The doctors rushed her away. The family was shut out. And her mother had only one thing left to do. She cried out, "Jesus!" What happened next would change that family's understanding of faith forever. And the hidden wisdom connects directly to one of the most powerful stories in the Bible. Mark 4 verses 35 to 41. Stay until the end. The Anderson family looked like an ordinary American family. A father, a mother, and 2 children. Their daughter Lily was 16. Her younger brother Noah was 12. They believed in God. They went to church. They called themselves Christians. But if they were honest, their faith had become casual. They prayed sometimes. They thanked God for meals. But prayer wasn't the center of their daily life. Until one afternoon, everything changed. Lily suddenly became seriously ill. She was struggling to breathe. Her mother rushed her to the hospital. Doctors immediately began testing her. Scans, blood tests, X-rays, more examinations. Then came the words that terrified the family. The doctors suspected a serious disease in her lungs. They were concerned it could be cancer. Suddenly, their normal life disappeared. The warning. After treatment, Lily became stable enough to leave the hospital. The family was relieved. But the doctors warned them. This was serious. She needed close monitoring and further treatment. They went home. For a few days, things seemed better. But then, the symptoms returned. The breathing became difficult again. The weakness increased. And every cough terrified her mother. Every night, she checked whether Lily was breathing. The family finally began praying seriously. They prayed beside her bed. They prayed together. They asked Jesus to heal her. But nothing seemed to change. And that was the hardest part. They were praying. But the storm was getting worse. When prayer seems silent. Have you ever experienced that? You pray. You believe. You wait. But nothing changes. Sometimes, it even gets worse. That's when doubt begins whispering. Maybe God isn't listening. But the Anderson family kept praying. Until one night, everything collapsed. Lily suddenly became much worse. Her breathing became extremely difficult. They rushed her back to the hospital. Doctors took her immediately. The family waited outside. Minutes passed. Then more minutes. And suddenly, the doctors told them Lily had collapsed. She was unconscious. Her condition was critical. Then came the news no parent wants to hear. She had stopped breathing. The medical team rushed her into emergency treatment. The doors closed. And the family was left outside. They couldn't help her. They couldn't fix anything. All they could do was pray. Lily's father sat down, overwhelmed. Her brother was crying. Her mother stood outside the emergency room. She had prayed before. But now, she was terrified. Then she remembered something Jesus had said. Do not be afraid. Believe. And something changed inside her. She lifted her voice. Jesus. People turned toward her. She didn't care. She cried again. Jesus, I believe. Through her tears, she continued. I don't know what is happening behind those doors, but I refuse to believe you have abandoned my daughter. She wasn't denying the medical emergency. She wasn't pretending everything was fine. She was choosing where to place her fear. In that moment, she decided fear would not have the final word. She prayed, Jesus, you are our only hope. Please save my child. Then, inside the emergency room, the doctors continued fighting for Lily. And then, something changed. Her body began responding. Her breathing returned. The medical team continued working. Her condition slowly began stabilizing. The family didn't know yet, but the direction had changed. Eventually, a doctor came outside. The family stood up. Her mother asked, Is she alive? The doctor nodded. She's alive. The mother began crying. But the story wasn't over. Lily slowly regained consciousness. Day by day, she became stronger. And then came another surprise. The condition they had feared, the disease affecting her lungs, was no longer progressing as expected. The family continued treatment and medical monitoring. But Lily kept improving. Weeks passed. Then months. Eventually, she returned to school. She returned to her normal life. And today, in this story, Lily is living a healthy life. The family never forgot that night. But here's the hidden wisdom. Now listen carefully, because this is where the story connects to Mark 4. The disciples were crossing the sea when a violent storm suddenly appeared. The waves were crashing into their boat. They thought they were going to die. And where was Jesus? Sleeping. Finally, they woke him and cried out, Don't you care that we're drowning? Does that sound familiar? When your child is sick. Jesus, don't you care? When your marriage is falling apart. Jesus, don't you care? When your finances are collapsing. Jesus, don't you care? When you've prayed for years and nothing seems to change. Jesus, don't you care? But here's what the disciples forgot. Jesus was already in the boat. The storm didn't mean he had abandoned them. He was there. And that's the hidden wisdom. Your storm is not proof that God has left you. Sometimes Jesus is with you, even when you cannot see what he is doing. Fight your battle with prayer. Faith doesn't mean pretending there is no storm. Faith means facing the storm while knowing who is with you. So if you're facing a storm today, don't run away from God. Run toward him. Pray. Cry if you need to. Tell Jesus exactly what you're afraid of. But don't stop there. Take the next step. If you're sick, seek medical help. If you're struggling financially, look for solutions. If your marriage is broken, seek wise help. If you've fallen, get back up. And while you fight, pray. Prayer isn't giving up. Prayer is saying, Jesus, I cannot control everything, but I trust you with what I cannot control. Your storm is not the end. Maybe you're watching this right now, and nobody knows what you're going through. Maybe you're exhausted. Maybe you've prayed again and again. Maybe heaven seems silent. But remember Mark 4. The disciples saw the storm. Jesus saw something greater. And when Jesus stood up, He commanded the wind and the sea. Peace. Be still. And the storm became calm. But notice what happened next. The disciples didn't simply celebrate the calm. They asked, "Who then is this?" That's the real question. Not, "How big is my storm?" but, "How big is my God?" Your storm may be real. Your fear may be real. Your situation may look impossible. But don't let fear make your final decision. Keep praying. Keep trusting. Keep taking the next step. Because you may not know how your story will end. But you can know this: Jesus is still in the boat. So when fear tells you it's over, pray. When circumstances tell you there is no hope, pray. When you don't see an answer, pray again. You don't have to understand the entire journey. You only need enough faith to take the next step. And remember, the storm may be loud, but Jesus is still Lord over the storm. If this message touched your heart, subscribe to The Hidden Wisdom. Because sometimes, the answer you're searching for is hidden inside a story you've heard many times. Don't be afraid. Believe.